Hey, welcome everybody to another live episode of the Outlaw Nation Show here on another Tuesday night on the Outlaw Nation channel. I am the Outlaw, John Rocha. I'm excited to have you all here with me tonight, hanging out. You know, there's a lot of other places you can be for your entertainment, so it means the world to me that you take your time to hang out with us. We've been doing this thing since February, it was in March, I think, since March. Kind of crazy to think about how many months we've been knocking out the Outlaw Nation Show, having so many incredible guests, so many great conversations, and so many great questions from you all, and great interactions as well with you all when you come in live. So I'm excited because tonight's going to be another great one. I have a feeling a great one, as Ric Flair might say. Woo! I got a Nature Boy shirt on. I'm excited. Thanks to the WWE Shop Zone for sending this to me. I'm wearing it. I'm looking fly in this Nature Boy. I love Nature Boy, so it's great to rep him tonight. Why not? Tonight, because we're going to have ourselves the first ever Outlaw Nation Heel Summit. The Heel Summit's going to happen later on in the show. Two heels having conversations about what it's like to be a heel and heel it up in the Schmoedown. It's going to be a lot of fun, that's for sure. And I'm excited to introduce my guest in just a few seconds. Just some programming stuff to let you know about the Outlaw Nation channel here. Yesterday, we had Game Time on. That is up for people to view. It is almost at 2,000 views already, so go and add your views if you haven't done that yet. And watch Jay Washington and Winston A. Marshall and I talk about Week 14 in the NFL, cover the Cleveland Indians changing their mascot name and what that means. Get into all of that between the three of us there and having fun for a couple of hours. Of course, as you know, the Outlaw Nation Show is happening now. Tomorrow, Geek Buddies, another episode of the Geek Buddies. And if you haven't watched our breakdown of Disney Investor Day, that Geek Buddies show dropped Sunday night. We did it live with our guest, Mike Kalinowski, and a returning Shannon McClung. We are all back together again, the three of us, for our first show since Shannon's unfortunate tragedy of losing his father a few weeks ago. Shannon is back now to be with us, so we will be doing a new one tomorrow. And then on Thursday, we got ourselves some fun time going on as well, because Impolite Truths is happening Thursday night as well. Our new time at 5 p.m. PT. Doreen and I getting into all the politics. Look, Joe Biden got elected by the electors, and of course, Trump came up with some crazy lawsuits. So we're going to talk about all of that on Thursday night. But don't forget, this is the week of the Jedi Way as well. Laura Kelly and I are going to get into it, and that's tomorrow night. And we're going to talk about Anakin Skywalker. We're going to break down the history of Anakin and talk about what we want to see or expect to see in the Kenobi series, with Hayden Christensen being announced as coming back to play Darth Vader, a.k.a. Anakin Skywalker, in the series. And then Friday, of course, we've got ourselves mornings with the Outlaw there with me and Alex Shawshak doing our thing there on Friday morning. And, of course, Strong Style. Aaron Turner and I back live again, doing our thing, talking about all the big news in the world of professional wrestling. That's on Fridays. Look for all of that. And in between, I'm going to pepper some reviews. Look, I know I tried that 25 Days of Christmas. I'm not going to lie to you. I clearly bit off more than I could chew. It kicked my ass, and I could not get 25 days. But I promise you, I will be starting to do some throughout the next few days and then into next week, into Christmas on Friday. So having some fun there. All right, that's it. That's all the programming note I wanted to let y'all know. Oh, yeah, the top 10 podcast drop today, doing the top 10 body swap movies. That's out there for you. And the Cinephiles coming up this week. We're going to make an announcement about what it is. I think you're going to like it. It's our Christmas movie. So I just think I got one word for you. Ninny Muggins. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. Ninny Muggins. That's all I'm going to say. All right. Let's get into tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I'm excited to introduce. And remember, the Streamlabs and Super Chats are open. So start sending in your questions for my guest and I as we get into great conversations about his career in the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. We get into some great conversations about peeking behind the curtain about who this man is, how this man is constructed, what it's like to be a member of the faction that he is a member of, and to have a manager like he has right now, this year at least, in the Schmoedown. Ladies and gentlemen, he is currently the IG champion of the world. He is one member of the Swag Drip Drip faction, and he is one of the greatest heels to walk through the doors of the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. I'm telling you, I watched this dude's career from afar. I didn't know what to believe, what not to believe, but seeing what he was able to pull off at the expense of our own beloved Kevin Smets and how he's ramping up to get into what happened at Schmoedown Spectacular. There'll be no spoilers on the show. Just saying, he had a huge match at Schmoedown Spectacular. So we'll talk about all of that. And then later on the show, we're going to chair ourselves. We're going to gavel in the first ever Heel Summit. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, welcome to the show, the Chosen Chandru. Chandru, how are you, man?
Thank you, John Rocha. I'm good. I'm great. Thanks for having me. It's an honor and privilege to share screen with you again. I know we talked on backstage once before, and since then this is the first time we were actually sharing screen. And to hear from your mouth that the term one of the best heels to ever do this, it's again surreal still. Thanks.
Hey, listen, you're welcome, man. You've earned it. Look, I don't give out praise lightly. You know that. Anybody who's watching the show knows that. And anybody who's watched the Schmoedown knows the Outlaw does not praise lightly. If I say you're the greatest, because I've seen many people walk through the doors, try to be heels. Not everyone can handle the pressure of being a heel, the criticisms that come with being a heel, the jabs, the comments, all of that. But also, not just that. Find a way to make it your own. Find a way to be a unique heel. That's how you stand out. You can walk the same path, at least at the beginning, but then eventually you must walk your own path in the world of heeldom to make your name in the Schmoedown, and you've certainly done that. What's this experience been like for you ever since you won the belt against Kevin Smets earlier this year? What has and fully embraced the heeldom, and had some people coming at you for comments that they took out of context, had some people coming at you for the dancing, people coming at you for the smiling. There was a lot of hatred and anger that's come your way. What's been your experience navigating that as you've embraced your newfound fame in the Schmoedown as well?
I think one of the things that Andrew Guy told me about being a heel when we were still making that decision, and one of the last studio day was, he said cheers are easy because all of the everyone in the Schmoedown fan community, they love the Schmoedown. So anyone who is in the Schmoedown who's doing great, they're going to cheer. Yeah. But boos are actually earned. Every single boo is earned, and it's something that you actually have to work for, and that's what I keep in mind every time I hear hateful comments or negative comments. I know it's something is working, and we're making the product more entertaining, and more people are going to sign in and pay the pay-per or get the pay-per-view link, become a patron to actually watch me lose, and that's something that's actually an accomplishment in itself too. And that's what I keep in mind. So.
Well, I mean, a lot of people have had troubles because there have been accusations offset. There was issues with Paul Oyama. There were issues with Chance that people had. And there was I heard a lot of smoke. Me and you, we never had a crossword. You were always respectful to me. I was always nice. It was always great to see you and see how, because you were a fan and then became a player. And I remember that distinctly. I remember the first time I met you. I think I met your parents as well, if I'm not incorrect on that. When they came one time. So I remember all these things. So what's this been like for you, kind of being on the other side of the mirror now and seeing you got to see what we were doing. Now you've been experiencing it. Does it give you a new appreciation or a different point of view on some of the stuff we were doing, or how difficult it was been to be a heel and maintain that heel status?
Yeah, definitely. That's I think I also go back and watch what you did, what Mike did, what Guy did, to see sort of how you play around with the line while still not crossing it, and even other backstage interviews where you still try to keep the edge without giving the whole recipe away of playing the character while still being respectful of everyone. And it's not easy being in character the entire game, and also while trying to play a sport, essentially a mental sport, essentially, because you need to be 100% on the trivia as well. And I've gathered a huge appreciation of what it takes to be sharp on both sides of the of the spectrum. And I think some of my favorite matches are the matches that got me hooked were Marvel versus Guy, and some of the top 10 versus action matches, and your match against Scott Mance. As soon as like you came out and like did the whole DX and wiped the t-shirt and like threw it in his face and all that, like I totally got it, because I was also like a big fan of wrestling growing up, when I was like 8 to 10, and I got the idea of like what Christian was going for, and like what all of you were going for, and it didn't mean I still wanted you guys to lose those matches, because whatever you were doing was working, but it definitely, I could appreciate what you were trying to do as well.
Yeah. So what you're telling me is that you were cheering against the heels yourself. You weren't necessarily 100% for the heels. You enjoyed it, but you were cheering against them, and then somehow found your way into becoming one. What was the pitch like? Because Chandru, you make a great point. The idea of fighting as a heel and also being on top of your movie trivia knowledge, not an easy thing to do. Winning titles is not easy. I mean, people may forget, but there's only been a select few that have won belts and have won titles and consistently won titles, no matter what era they've been in. It's only a select few. And so now when you see the situation pop up for yourself, you are one of, I guess, for lack of a better term, you're one of the chosen in this way, because you took on Kevin Smets after Kalinowski stepped aside thinking he was going to make points for his team, which he didn't. He got knocked out in the first round, and he gave up that shot to you. What was your reaction like now, knowing how quickly you were able to step into the ring and take on a champion like Kevin Smets?
Yeah, I was really excited to play Mike, first of all, and because until that point, Brandon was also like someone I had played the previous season, and we knew the winner was going to play Smets as well. The winner was going to play Smets as well. So, and Smets was also like someone I had played the previous season. So I was looking forward to like playing against again someone whom I looked up to while I was still a fan of the Schmoedown as well, to sort of like measure my trivia knowledge against that person, against him. But once like Mike stepped down to focus on teams or whether to enter the IG tournament, I was really excited to like get my title shot against Smets, and it was also like some sort of redemption for me, because the previous match last season I came so close, and there was a lot of frustration for me with the challenge and so on, with the challenge that didn't go my way and so on as well. And to get that, especially, was going to be in a live setting in Houston, and that was going to be Winston's first live event as a manager as well. And I was happy that I was able to like I was able to like get that for Winston as well, and like and for myself. So we were all excited for that title match to happen. But then COVID and the world happened, and things got pushed back, and kept getting pushed back, and we eventually had to do even title matches online digitally. And but then with that, one silver lining of all of that was we had even more time to prepare for my title match. Like otherwise it would have been just 2.5 months preparing for that title match, and this time instead we had 5 months to prepare for the title match. And the leaps and bounds, I kept improving, and like this was one of the cornerstones for me during all of the COVID. The world was being in flux, and like a lot of my plans got canceled, and a lot of my hobbies I wasn't able to do. Schmoedown preparation kept being the cornerstone of like I'd plan my day. I'd work for like 9 to 10 hours a day, and then that's how I spent most of my evenings, or relaxing was preparing for the Schmoedown. Relaxing, quote unquote relaxing. So that was that helped a lot in the title match, but also that was the same time when the match against Brandon Hanna was released, and that's when like the narrative narrative of like heel who thinks he's a face. We started pushing it a little more, and then the cutscene started. The one cutscene that we shot on the last studio day started dropping and all of that, and it's tough, like, because with the studio, without the studio, we know, like, in studio, we know, like, once the camera stop rolling, we can, be all friendly backstage in the studio, like, go get drinks afterwards. But while everything is done digitally, like, as soon as the stream ends, we're all just like back in our homes. So you have to, like, so sort of that disconnect between the character we're playing and the person we are is muddled even for the Schmoedown community, like our co-managers and co-competitors itself. So that was something, like, I'm still like trying to handle, but but yeah, we'll take it.
Well, let's go back in time here, man. I mean, because this, as you said, the progression to being the heel was not a linear progression. It was a little bit more of a, like, kind of, how can we play this in a unique way? And I know I couldn't tell, like, there were people behind the scenes. Like, I know there was a moment where Christian was like upset about something you said or did on an interview, and it was like, because he gets very clear about what he wants to have happen, just like Vince McMahon does. Oh, don't say that, you're not supposed to say that. But like at the beginning here, your first match was, what was it? Was it a 5-way? What was it? A 4-way, right?
It was a fatal 4-way, and it was Brandon Hanna, Chance Ellison, Keaton Markey, and me, and you, 4 of us.
And you ended up losing in that match. Did you, when that match went down, you were excited to be a part of it, but in the end, what was your feeling about how you did? Did you just need to kind of get one match under your belt, just to have a feeling of what this is like to be under the lights?
So my plan was to, like, be in the Schmoedown more long term. So I knew this was something that would excite me, because despite my STEM background, I was the science and technology background. Like, I was always, like, into theatrics and, like, singing, dancing, improv, theater, and all of these things as, like, side hobbies. So that was something I knew. This was something I knew I'd be great at. But then the way the Schmoedown is set up, you only get more matches if you keep winning.
Right.
Or in my case, if you lose the match, you still want to be extremely competitive and also, like, bring something new to the Schmoedown that people wanted to be excited about. So going into the first match, my game plan was to be a little bit more entertaining, like, try to have, like, playful banter with the hosts and if possible the competitors. Yeah. Like, try to make more of an impact, even if I don't win, because I knew even though it was Chance and Brandon's debut, they were really strong in IG. Yeah. Because even before that day, I would still show up to studio for tapings, and, like, we would have interactions with both of them backstage as well. So I didn't realize, I knew I was not going to, like, just walk away from that match with an easy win. So I was trying to, like, approach it from the perspective of, like, how do I make sure I get another match even if I lose? Was the way I was approaching that match.
How do you stand out? How do you catch?
Exactly.
You got to be competitive enough so that he'll want to put you back in a match. Yeah, absolutely. If you get blown out, it's a really hard road back on your first match. If you get blown out, unless you're a personal friend of Christian's, it's really hard to climb back into the ring and get another shot. And certainly you proved yourself in that 3-way match. Then you had a triple threat match with Eric Barnes and David Moore for the Harry Potter stuff. I think that was an exhibition match, if I'm not correct. If I'm not wrong, right?
It was a regular IG match as well.
Oh, they just made it a Harry Potter match? Is that what it was?
No, it was not.
Your category was round.
My category, second round category was Harry Potter, but it was a regular IG match.
So another triple threat match. So for you, it was like, wait, another one? And again, different people. and you acquitted yourself one. You won that one. Then you went on a little bit of a run here. You beat Jared, which is really not difficult to do. And then you beat Brandon, which turned out to be not that difficult to do for yourself twice now. But certainly at that time, you beat him by TKO. You beat Jared by TKO. Did you sense that you were getting stronger match by match as you were going along? Or did you sense that the competition wasn't as strong as you thought it was going to be, so you had yourself a better an easier time in these matches? Would you say that?
I think, like, going back to my first two matches, it felt like I was underperforming a little bit compared to like what I knew I was capable of doing.
Even though you were winning, you felt you were underperforming.
The first two matches, the first one that I lost, and the second, the triple threat I won. Like, there were questions I actually knew the answer to, but because of like second guessing, especially because the first time was I still had like a little bit of the nerves, even though like I make it look like I'm comfortable on screen. I haven't like done anything in front of a camera, like actually in front of a camera before that. It was all like stage work. So. Being in front of a camera is like a completely different animal compared to being on stage as well. So there was a lot of like second guessing myself, and I would change my answer, give a different answer, even though the correct answer came to my mind the first time, like not trusting my gut and so on.
Yeah,
not trust. So that was something I had to like learn to trust myself and so on as well. But then after a point, I'm also like an incredibly competitive person, and based on the questions that I missed, and the more matches I kept playing, the more I understood like how I remember things, and like what I need to work on, what type of movies I need to work on, and so on as well. And that helped a lot in improving again and again. I think my first 4 or 5 matches, my accuracy like kept going up and up and up with every single match. I think it was a combination. It was actually my opponents kept getting tougher, kept becoming tougher and tougher opponents. But then my work was also, the amount of work I was putting in was also going higher and higher in order to like match that competitive.
So you'd say it wasn't necessarily that the opponents weren't that strong. It was that you were getting better. You were figuring out how to play the game your way, how to make it work for you. You were doing, like you said, you've got this science and technology background. You just said like that. So for you, you were analyzing what it was that was working and wasn't working, and figuring out how to find the right combo so that you had the right chemistry going into a match for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And I think after the second match, and I think Hannah, for whatever reason, like as my character, I still don't like the Hitman, but Brandon Hannah was also like underrated as an IG player. 80% accuracy is really difficult to get, and it's just the way that I TKO'd him twice sort of like puts an asterisk on whatever win record he has. But I feel like if the tournament had gone differently, he would have easily beaten Mike or easily beaten Damon too, because I know, because we came in around the same time, and I know how much he studies as well.
So he's like, so to make a sports reference, he's like Patrick Ewing, or he's like one of these players that unfortunately Jordan came along during his time and he can't quite get over the mountaintop. But if Brandon drew different people, Brandon could definitely challenge you for the title, you think, down the road. Do you think that's possible in 2021 if Brandon keeps at it and he gets a different draw? Now that you're the champion, you don't see him in the early rounds. So do you think Hannah has a real shot in 2021?
I think if he focuses on, I think he also shifted his focus a little bit to teams. But if he keeps a single solo focus on IG, he definitely has the potential to do it. Because I think his first ever debut match, he broke the IG record for a 3-round match. So he always has the potential. And so that was exactly how I felt, because Smets was also in the same season, right? Like, I felt like I was already, if you take Smets out of the equation, my accuracy in my debut season was already on par or above Mike, Rachel, Jason Inman, Mara Konopik, and all of that. It's just frustrating that someone who's even more dedicated, even more like putting even more work than I was. That also debuted in the same season. Like I got overshadowed a little bit, and Brandon got overshadowed a little bit by both Smiths and I. And often you have like one person like that coming into the league and going on an amazing run, and it was like three people who were trying to go on this amazing run, and we all had to like run into each other, and
you came out on top?
And eventually in the second season I came out on top. Yes, the first season was Smets' season, and the second season I've come out on top.
That's the thing that's incredible about it. And I wonder, like I said, it seems to me just from having conversations with you, you're a pretty analytical person. You're a loose guy, relaxed guy, but you're also analytical, which is a dangerous combo. It's a dangerous combo. I know that. So when you look at this situation, you're like, okay, Smets had that season, and so you had all these months to prepare. If you remember on Backstage, my first prediction was that you were going to beat him. I felt like you had this kind of like I don't care attitude, and that is such a great attitude to have when you play. It doesn't mean you're not competitive. It doesn't mean you're not focused. Doesn't mean you can't come up with the answers when you need to. It's just the I don't care attitude was more like it's just relaxed and playful. And sometimes when you hold that belt, you can wind yourself so tight that you don't play like you're playing for the belt. You're playing like you're playing not to lose the belt. And that can come back and bite you. And I felt that in the match with you and Smets. That felt like how Kevin was playing. And it seemed like he just was off kilter after that first round or near the end of that first round. Did you know you had him? Did you know you had him at the end of that first round? You were reeling him in slowly round by round, or was there still a fear that he was gonna like just go on a run here and challenge you and take that and keep that belt?
Oh, end of the first round, I still wasn't sure. I think end of the second round or through the half of the second round is when especially when he missed like a couple questions in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
In round 2 was when I realized that I had the edge, like that the challenge got to him, or challenge from round 1 got to him, or whatever. And the plan was never to. I had never planned to like go into round 3 or round 3 or even the final round with a lead at all. Like my initial plan was to stick within 5, and hit my 5 and like pressure him into actually answering his 5.
Right.
And lose his lead in the final round, because realistically that was what I was expecting to happen. And luckily enough, like I actually had a lead going into rounds 3, 4, and 5, and that sort of then the pressure was on me to sort of like not lose the lead or not give ground anymore, and to just like keep it moving.
Did you learn a little bit? Did you learn from your first match with Kevin that you knew, like, did you feel like you had a better idea of how to play him? Like, is it dangerous for someone to lose to you and play you again because you figure them out?
I mean, based on the track record, both people I've lost to the next time I've played, I've actually won against. So I think based on the track record, you could say it is dangerous to lose to me and face me again. Other than that, but I always like learn more about myself and about my opponent once I play them once, and that's always information I retain and think about how to use for the next match as well.
Do you study them? Do you watch their matches and study their habits and their tendencies, and do you come up with a spreadsheet, all this kind of stuff? And look, if you don't want to reveal anything, you don't have to, but I'm asking, like, is there an approach you have when you're about to play somebody? Let's say for chance.
I at minimum I watch their IG matches, which is not hard to do, because one, there hasn't been like too many matches for each of these players,
right?
And the other thing also, because I even otherwise, like, I end up watching all of those matches when they drop anyway, but I watch them in quick succession, all of their matches, to like see what their story was, how over this quick succession, like what they're improving, what they're focusing on, how they react to certain things, and that's why my approach for each player would be different. Even if I play them again, my approach would be different for each match. The only thing that's constant is how I prepare, because I've already figured out like what works for me.
Is there a league you want to jump into other than IG? Is there a singles tag team? Like are you starting to like open your mind to other possibilities? You know, a lot of the IG players play in multiple leagues.
Yeah.
I know Chance obviously plays teams and singles and IG Kalinowski. Smets has been hinting that he's going to do that next year when he comes back from his when he recovers from his cancer. There are a number of IG players that have talked about, you know, Rachel. There's quite a few, you know, who've done that. Inman did that for teams with Mance when they were Team Trek. Yeah. So, like, is this an interest of yours? Have you been kind of looking at the possibility of being? Look, no one's held all three belts at the same time.
Yeah,
that's something in your mind now that you've got one, and you know, and no spoilers were spectacular, but now that you have one, do you see yourself possibly getting into teams or singles next year? Like, what would you want to do?
I mean, I think given the option of all four, like the next step would be to go into Star Wars as well, because I play along, and given enough of time to prepare, like anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks, I feel like I could do some damage in Star Wars. And I've been playing along with singles and teams as well. Like, I don't think I'll be like quite competitive in singles, because the top singles is like one of the most stacked divisions in the Schmoedown. But teams, I think I can, especially with IG slices being incorporated into the next season, and I have a lot of other strengths that are slices in the singles, slices in singles and teams as well. I feel like I could do some damage with the right partner in teams too.
Yeah, in teams as well, if you had the right partner.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's something that's an interesting possibility for you if you pair you with the right partner. Is there anybody out there that you've had your kind of eye on, that you've been watching or think you'd vibe well with? Is there anyone that you've like seen that you would think you'd have a good rapport with working in teams?
Within my faction, I feel like Josh McCouga would have been like a fun partner. We wanted, especially because Rivalries broke up. Like, at that point, I just wanted to like have fun playing as well, and
could have been interesting.
I thought Josh and I would make like a fun team. And Liz Shannon Miller is another person who's like really strong. He's really strong singles player, like, who actually got her due this season, because she was one of the most underrated of all the season 6 debuts, I would say. And being in her team with her would have also been fun, because like I got to know Liz better. Because of all of our behind the scenes preparation for both of our matches as well, and that would have been something really fun to do.
She prepared really well. I mean, it seems like you're a lot of people. What I'm hearing is, as good as Winston A. Marshall is as your manager, it's really you and Parker who were really preparing a lot of the players throughout the year. Would you say that's a correct assessment? That you, at least in terms of trivia knowledge, right? You were preparing. You're a big part of preparing these players to do well. Do you take a little bit of ownership in their victories?
Still, I would say like Winston still has a major portion of everybody's successes, because like he's the one who actually puts all the effort in like trying to like quiz all of these people, like prepare, have them be as prepared as possible for their matches as well. But one good thing about Winston is he also is open to inputs. He's also like great at delegation in that sense. Like he's when there are resources like Paul who is always open to like pitching in with practice questions and like helping people, and when I'm also like that open, and because both Paul and I have been fans of the Schmoedown since for the longest time, so we've like both of us have seen literally every Schmoedown match multiple times, and that he lets us like use all of that knowledge for not just our own games, but for everyone else in our faction as well.
It's interesting. I mean, you look at the situation with Winston and Swag. I mean, 3 people. This is tough. I mean, you've got Oyama and Lon, you've got Ace, you've got you've got Liz, Shannon Miller. This is a difficult situation, man. Do you sense that there's have you sensed that there are people coming and hunting around? Do you sense that there are people? Have you had people reach out to you? Have you had people like maybe see what your feeling is like about the situation?
Yeah, I've had a couple like people reaching out to me.
Yeah,
especially since spectacular got over, and all that too. But other than that, because of all the things you said, like it's no secret that within the faction itself, like Winston and my bond is like really strong, and Winston and Paul's bond is also like really strong, and Winston has also like not made it a secret that like both of us like are essentially assistant coaches for him as well. So there's also like sort of that reservation when it comes to like approaching any of us. But we still hear some rumblings about like all of us being,
Yeah, but everyone's a face on your faction except for you. That seems a bit weird, though, Chandru, doesn't it? I mean, it just seems like the balance is a bit off, having you be a face, having you be a heel in a face faction. And even though you started out that way, is he a face? Is he a heel? It's very clear now that you're a heel.
Yeah, I think that was one of the lucky things about the faction drafts. Mostly it ended up being like face managers recruiting face players, and heel managers recruiting heel players with like very few exceptions, with very few exceptions. So that was one of the reasons, like it came as a shock or surprise for to actually like change, to actually like have that heel turn as well. But end of the day, like Winston's and Swag's motto was just his players going out there and having as much fun as possible. And like even though I'm playing a heel, like I'm still like playing the heel that's like still out there, having fun, like dancing and smiling and like having banter with the judges and so on. So we make it work, and it also makes for a nice like contrast between how Winston approaches the game and how I approach the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Has anyone impressed you of the new people who've come in? Look, I mean, you're now not a veteran necessarily yet. I think you're almost there. Certainly next season, maybe halfway through, you'll qualify for veteran status, but you're certainly an experienced player. So as you've seen some of the newer players come in this year, I mean, Collins goes without saying. He's been a great player, and no spoilers here, but had a hell of a match against Dan in the Spectacular. So has there been anyone else besides him that's really impressed you? And B, were you surprised by Collins? Because he wasn't necessarily mowing people down in the fan leagues, but somehow came in here and rolled through people like crazy to get himself a title shot, including me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the first part, let's talk about the rookies. Like I was really impressed with Marisol McKee.
Yes.
Who I think I still this is almost a cliche at this point, but I feel like Rachel Cushing's energy, and she has like that attitude, the persona as well. Like she is like incredibly strong in trivia, and she's also like slowly coming out of her shell more and more with each match. With each match she plays, and she's going to be a star in the league going forward. Ben Goddard is also someone who really impressed me from like a character point of view. Like he was also like he also did a lot because he played 3 studio matches too when we were still able to like play the whole character aspect in studio. He was doing a lot of like great work at that point. And the Barbarian also was very impressive. And like all of these people like had some portion of a character as well. in addition to like the whole trivia aspect of it, and like that's what keeps me hooked and keeps me interesting, like how they're going to progress more in the league. And
I mean, yeah, because you and Marisol McKee could be a great team. I mean, I know her and Collins were great, but you and Marisol, I mean, Marisol coming out of her shell, being more playful. She's got like the knowledge. It could be an interesting combo if you two were ever to find yourselves on a team down the road in the future.
That'll be interesting. Also, it'll be a major downgrade from the singles tournament winner to go from singles tournament winner to like someone who's never played singles in singles or teams. But I would never say no to like a strong team like that. And off seasons are there for, again, me to put in some work, watch some movies I've not seen, and like rewatch some matches and so on.
You're a heel. Don't be humbling yourself. It's a downgrade. That's not how a heel works, bro. You have confidence, you go in there and you kick ass. That's how it works.
Oh, wait, the heel summit hasn't started yet.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I apologize. The hat's sitting right here. I apologize. Yeah, I love that aspect of it all. But yeah, go ahead.
The second part about Adam Collins. I'm not gonna lie. In his second match against you, I was rooting for Collins, but because at that point, Finstock Exchange was the one was still in
the lead, in
the lead, and you guys were threatening to be in the lead, and corruption. Mike was out. I think Chance had like a tough match against Liz. We were hoping he'd be out. We were hoping Chance would be out too, and we thought, okay, corruption is not going to be a competition, and we actually were happy that Collins won, but knowing what we know now, we should have like we should have like hope that you took care of that you took care of business.
You put bad mojo on me, man.
I know.
Yeah, don't fuck with the outlaw, man. Yeah, but it's fair. And look, the kid caught me. On a bad day. Just the questions didn't fall my way, and I don't play that bad. I rarely ever play that bad, so that just was a bad loss, and it's one that sticks in my craw. And I'm gonna get him back for that one of these days. Have no fucking doubt. I've already seen it in my visualizations. The Outlaw versus Collins one more time. Like, I'm gonna skin that coyote and hang his pelt on my wall. That's for fucking sure. So I know that's my next competitor. And I like that because, I mean, the new people coming in, man, when the new people come in and, getting knocked down, ain't no shame in getting knocked down. It's what you do when you get back up, know, and I'm excited when new people come in and they show you what they can do and they knock people on their asses like Ethan did when he rolled through. I was one question away from beating him this year, and I'll beat him next time we play. And that's how it works. You just kind of learn these things as you go along. And it's fun. It really inspires me to keep playing for sure. And you're one of those guys that rolled in here yourself, and you took some losses, but you learned from the losses. You came back stronger, and you found your way to the belt. That's the pattern. That's the real deal, and everyone's going to glorify Collins, but it's when you take a loss and how you respond to the loss that makes people really kind of fall in love with you as a fan in the Schmoedown for sure.
Yeah, and there was a little bit of like, especially the first 2 or 3 people he played, there was a little bit of people being caught unaware too. Like Paul Oyama was like strangely prophetic. He told us, in our group chat, he told us Adam can actually beat Rocha, and I just laughed it off. I was like, there's no way that's gonna happen. But then the run just kept on going and going, and I think you see from Brendan Meyer on, like people take playing him way more seriously because of like all the clout he's gotten with the wins under his belt, like against you, against Lon, and it's also like and towards the end he beats Brendan, Liz, and Snyder too, and it's an amazing like run of competitors to go against, and he's already he's playing for the singles bet at the Spectacular, and he's already like made his case for Rookie of the Year. And
I like it. It
is extremely impressive.
It happens. Let's get into some Streamlabs Super Chat. Ladies and gentlemen, send in your Streamlabs and Super Chats. You guys are kind of light tonight. What the hell's going on? No Streamlabs, no Super Chats. You got the current IG champ before he plays. But no spoilers that spectacular, but you've got the current IG champ here, and you got no questions. You're not going to send in Streamlabs and Super Chats. Get off your ass and send in some stuff. Show some respect. All right, Andrew Hale sent in. He said, hello, Chandru. Big fan of your hero work. It's truly unique, and people hate it, which is great. LOL. Just wanted to know, what is your childhood like growing up watching movies, comic books, pop culture, etc.? What got you into loving movies early on? Thanks. Yeah, Chandru, what is your upbringing? What is your experience with movies? When did you realize that you were falling in love with movies? How did this all come about for you?
Our household was like one of those households where the TV is on in the background 24/7. Like we wake up and the first thing in the morning is just switch on the TV. So the news runs or movies run. Movies are on the TV for the entire time. So like watching movies and watching TV was something that was always like part of my psyche growing up. Like even while doing my homework or like studying, the TV would still be on the background. I would probably just get my homework done in a hurry during commercials or things like that. So that was like one major thing, and like some of my favorite memories is also like going to the theater with my with my family, and just like watching movies. Like we usually like end up going to the movies like once in a week or once in 2 weeks. And it used to be like a major part of it, and it was a lot of like Tamil and Hindi movies, or in the beginning it was just Tamil movies growing up, and like once in a month my dad would take me to English movies as well, and that would just be just my dad and I, or like my dad and my siblings. My mom would like skip those movies, skip English movies, and so on as well. So that was like a bonding moment for between my dad and I too. So I have like a lot of fond memories of watching those movies, and yeah, it just with more time passes on, we would actually reenact like dance sequences and like movie scenes and stuff. Like my sister and I, like just in front of like my the extended family, the uncles and cousins and so on, when they visit, or like when we go visit people, and that's, I guess, how sort of love for movies and everything started. But then I got into watching a lot of Hindi and English movies once I got into high school, and then later to college. But initially it was watching a lot of Tamil movies, at the occasional English ones, and a lot of English movies dubbed in Tamil as well. Like so the first time I watched Jurassic Park or like Back to the Future, all of those movies were all dubbed in Tamil. So the Tamil, even now when I watch the English versions, like the dubbing is like still engraved, etched in my head. Like I could still hear those dialogues, while the actual dialogue, like non-dubbed versions, are playing on screen too.
Yeah, well, that's great. That's great. So when did you come over here? How long have you been here now?
It's been 6.5 years now. So so I did my bachelor's back in India, and then I came over here for my master's and PhD.
What is it? What is your master's and PhD in?
Aeronautical sciences.
Is this what you work at now? Aeronautical sciences? Is this what you do?
Yeah.
Wow. So you have time to study.
Yeah.
And fucking be a rocket scientist is what you're trying to tell me. Like, Jesus Christ, it's not rocket science. Is that what people say all the time? That's impressive. Are you at JPL? Where are you at? Can you say, or do you not want to say? You don't have to say if you don't.
No. So the master's and PhD was at Caltech, and right now I'm working in a research group that is still at Caltech, but we closely work with JPL. So one of my I'm part of like a 3-4 person research group, and 2 of those people are JPL staff, and like one of them is a Caltech professor, and the 4th person is me.
Wow. And are you getting paid? Like, this is your job, right? To do
this is my job. Like, this is my day job.
Incredible. Do you live alone, or do you have roommates? How are you working this?
So I have a couple of roommates.
Okay, all right. And does your sister play?
Sister play what?
Does she play along? Does she play? Does she watch the matches and play? I mean, you said she was watching movies with you, dancing along with you, and doing all that. Is she? Could we see a brother sister team at some point down the road?
I mean, she's still in India, so that'd be ridiculously difficult. But
she was virtual. We're doing virtual.
She was also there in the studio. So luckily, how it worked was I graduated in 2019, the summer of 2019, and my entire family, our close family, immediate family, was all here in the US for a month to celebrate my graduation and also do a tour of US, West Coast and East Coast combined, and luckily one of the matches was the triple threat that we shot was also around that time. So they were able to come to the studio, and I think that's when you met my family, as well, and they still watch all of my matches. My sister gets one or two questions here and there, but she's not as steeped into geekdom as I am right now. But did
they watch your match against Smets? Did they watch your match against Smets?
They did, yeah.
Okay. Were they Friday? Did you send you did they give you good messages, anything like that, or was it just yeah, that's what you're supposed to do, win?
Yeah, that's what, and I know they're still really happy that I won, especially because and there's not a lot of news that happens here that I share with home. It's every week is the same stuff. I'm still working on the project. It's going great. Other than some publications here and there, or conference that I'm attending here and there, there's not a lot exciting news that I get to share. And and yeah, as soon as I said this, they were really, really happy that we're still able to do it over during quarantine times as well. That we're able to do it virtually.
Do you have a favorite movie? Is there a favorite movie that you go back to and watch the most?
Other than all the geekdom movies, because as of now I've seen them multiple times. Other than those, I love Inception. I also this is a guilty pleasure of mine, Mean Girls as well. So for some reason I love that movie. Yeah.
That makes for the character you've created, that makes all the sense.
I didn't even.
In fact, if you team up with somebody, you should call yourselves the Plastics. That just makes all the sense in the world.
Of course.
Oh man, that's incredible. Well, I didn't know that you were working in the rocket science stuff though up there. That's incredible, man. That's more power to you, because a lot of us have jobs and we're trying to kind of do the thing here in the Schmoedown. So I understand it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of work inside and outside the game to try to get yourself mentally ready for the game, for sure. Okay, let's keep going with some of these Streamlabs super chats. Keep sending them in, people. And of course, in about 7 or 8 minutes, I'm going to bring in Sean, my producer, and he's going to let you all know how you can come in live and ask your questions live. He's going to put the link in the chat. Those of you who are $10 and above Outlaw Nation patrons, you will get to come in first. Of course, you should have already been in the Discord, so start lining up now and get in line to talk to Chandru and everyone else. The link will be in the chat, and you'll be able to come in and ask questions of both of us. But why do you want to talk to me? Chandru's here. All right, Andrew Hale also sent in. He said, I can't wait for Chandru versus Smets 3. Yeah, man. I mean, of course, our friend Kevin, is dealing with cancer and trying to fight back from all of this. And it's a tough situation. I just got my Smash Cancer shirt yesterday, my Smash-a-thon shirt. And you've got this situation here with Kevin. Have you guys been in contact, or is there real, kind of bad blood between you two?
I don't, there's no bad blood at all. We're still in constant contact. So I found out when he went public with his diagnosis. That's when actually I found out it also hit me in multiple ways.
Yeah, sure.
And yeah, before his retirement, one of the last things I said to him on screen was while I was still being a heel, and those are things that.
But that's fans taking shit out of context. You had no idea, and it's fans creating anger and drama because Kevin lost, and they love Kevin, and they didn't want you to win. That's part of being a heel. is fans manipulating and twisting your words for their own to cover up their own anger and claim that they're so offended that you knew and you meant it, which is of course horrific, and so I thought that was really unfair of a lot of the fans coming after you for that. I saw that and I thought that was absolute horseshit because you didn't know. None of us knew. He kept it under wraps from everybody, and the diagnosis didn't even happen for weeks afterwards. So how could you?
But like that hit me so and he's a person who actually like revitalized this division so much that it made a lot of people step up our games to like we saw that in the tournament as well. Like a lot of people actually got into studying so hard for all of these matches. But other than that, I would have definitely liked to visit them in person if quarantine was not a thing, like get to know his daughter and all of that as well. But of course he's going I can't wait for him to beat cancer and then come back to Schmoedown. It's going to be an amazing like 5 horsemen type reveal in one of those live events, and and
easy and
and I can't wait to like be on the receiving end of that and be the guy in that situation, so to speak, and being the one be intimidated and like still Smets need to squash.
Well, don't hold back. Don't hold back, because I think Smets wouldn't respect you.
He wouldn't want me to hold back either.
Exactly. He's a warrior. Don't listen to the fans. You play your game. You got to say something shitty. You say something shitty. That's the game. Let's see. The next two here. Canada rocks. Royko, my brother Royko, he says, very excited about tonight. I'm a huge Chandru mark. I am one of the chosen. Royko will get this, but your heel work reminds me of Kurt Angle. Good job. Yeah, Kurt Angle. You said you were a wrestling fan. You remember Kurt Angle.
Oh, I hated Kurt Angle.
Yeah, right. Because he did exactly what you did. He played that fake heel thing. I mean, wearing the little cowboy hat, going with the milk truck. I mean, it was all there. And it's exactly what you're doing. That kind of like frustrating heel work that is with a big smile on his face.
Yeah, with the whole like onesie and everything too. Yeah. I cannot put into words how much I hated Kurt Angle. I was at that point, like I was still like for The Rock and Edge and what the Undertaker was still playing.
He just retired now. So yes, he was still there. Yeah,
I was still playing around that time, and I remember. I think I took pieces of that here and there, like from the wrestling matches I watched. Like, of course, movies. I got a lot of inspiration from movies and TVs as well, and I tried to make it my own character.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, I agree with that. Let's see here. We got one more we got two more. Mr. Torrance, he says, my man, feeling bad, but I hope this can lift my spirits. How you take zero shits is inspiring as fuck. Okay, Wick 4 or Matrix 4. For me, it's Matrix easy. The original in 99 is one of the best films in history, in my opinion. Wick is great, but not groundbreaking. Yo, Chandru. So, there you go. What's your choice there? A Wick 4, or which one are you looking forward to? John Wick 4 or The Matrix 4?
The Matrix 4. It's not even a question for me, because I'm a big fan of the Wachowski sisters, and I binge Sense8 in like an entire week in one weekend. I love what they do, and especially because John Wick was already a hit trilogy, right? Like my Matrix, they sort of like fell by the wayside, like went too philosophical with it as well, and they both become better filmmakers over the course of the time. I'd say, especially with Sense8, like they're more globalistic. The whole world is one tribe point of view is what I'm expecting them to bring more into the silver screen, and I'm looking forward. And the original Matrix is like one of my favorite films as well.
Ditto. Same here. Same here. And I would agree with you, dude. I think Matrix. I'm a science tech guy. It makes sense you choose the Matrix. I I agree with you as well. Matrix 4, I love the idea of them coming back. I hope they get it right because those second and third films, there are some good scenes in those films, but they overall just did not hit the mark. This isn't like the prequels. People aren't going back and going like, no, this is great. These are great movies. You didn't get it. They're pretty much universally not liked, and it's almost disappointment. But with John Wick, it's just he's fighting yet again. There's not really a bigger there's not bigger concepts being tackled to John Wick like there is in the Matrix. So I absolutely understand what you're talking about. All right, House. Oh yeah, go ahead, sir.
And I'd also like it's always great to have more LGBTQ representation behind the camera as well. And
absolutely agree with you. Yep, absolutely. Especially nowadays, man. All right, Haskell 420 donated. He said, "Hi, John, and welcome, Chandru. Chandru, huge props for what you've done in the movie Trivia Schmoedown and in life. Scary thought with you in rocket science and Mara being a nuclear engineer on a sub. God help my team if you two ever team up. Oh, sorry. God help any team if you two ever team up. That said, cut a mini promo on the Outlaw. Oh yeah, I mean,
wow.
Should we wait for we'll do that during the heel summit, Haskell? I promise we'll do that during the heel. Maybe we'll cut promos on each other. That's for sure. That'll be fun, and we'll be sharing that in just a second. Let me bring in Sean to tell people about how you can come in live and ask questions of Chandru and I. We'll share that summit in just a few minutes. Yo,
how's it going, gentlemen?
Good. It's going fast.
I use that term loosely with you, Rocha. Just
no.
I'm just kidding, John. I'm just
kidding. He is.
Maybe we'll see. So how's it going, Outlaw Nation? Welcome to the show. If you guys are watching live and you haven't hit the like button, please do so. And if you guys are watching post, please hit that like button, as well as put a comment down below. Respectful, of course. It does help with the algorithm. So if you are a $10 patron of the Outlaw Nation, the link is already in the Discord. And if you're not a patron, why not? Join. It's fun.
Come on.
Yeah. What's your problem?
You don't like fun times. You don't like good things. The Outlaw Nation Patreon is fun.
I don't know why John's Italian all of a sudden, but okay.
The other day we had 14 people hanging out with us on the $10 and above on-camera Zoom call. It was a blast. These are the kind of things you can have fun. It's great people in the Outlaw Nation Discord. Open people, fun people, cool people, no bullshit, no toxicity. It's a blast.
Well, except when John's giving me shit, but that's fine. I can take it. I'm in New York, it's fine. So if you guys, when you guys click on the link, and I'll put the link in the chat in a little bit as well, so anyone who's not a patron can come in and ask questions. When you click on the link, it will bring you to StreamYards. It'll ask you to verify your mic and your headphones. Please try to wear at least headphones, otherwise we can get like a little distortion, and it's a little it's unpleasant. Yeah. So it'll put you in backstage. John will be able to see you. He can bring you in at any time. Please try to have at least one question so we can try to get through as many people as we possibly can so we can get more of this heel summit. I'm looking forward to this heel summit. Yeah. So I changed my background,
Oh, yeah. That's right. The perfect heel right there. Respect the Joker. Yeah. Absolutely. All right. Thanks, John. I appreciate it. Yeah, look for that link in the chat.
I have a question.
Oh, you have a question.
One.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely. So the chosen one. Who are your heel?
The chosen, not the chosen one.
It's
he's the difference.
The chosen. I apologize. Who are your heel inspirations growing up, or who did you kind of take your heel? Who did you model your character after? Was it like a little bit from other people? Was it someone specific? And also, who do you think would make a great heel in the Schmoedown that has never turned heel?
Good question.
I think. With respect to the Schmoedown, I feel like Mike, Rocha, and Guy were the three biggest inspirations. Not
in that order. It's probably
it's not in the order. It's Rocha, Guy, Mike in that order. But other than that, like I think other than that, growing up, I never had like any plans to play villains or play a heel or anything like that. So I wasn't like looking for inspirations while watching movies or TV. But I also watched Hamilton like 2 years ago, and King George sort of stuck with me for the longest time.
You don't say.
Yeah,
I love King George. He's like,
yeah.
His little move is great. I love it.
that's some part like that I always sort of like keep. And David Diggs is Jefferson as well. Like even though he was not like a full on antagonist, he was still like on the opposite side of Hamilton a lot. So that was one as well.
Facts.
Couldn't break it down. Believe me, I tried. All right, cool. Thanks, Sean. Appreciate it, brother.
All good.
Much love. There he is. He's out. And was bringing Royko. Royko, he's your big fan.
I am. Hello, Chandru. I am honestly one of the biggest fans. You can ask anyone in the chat. Like I actually get hate for being a fan of yours, which is awesome. And actually, that's my question, because you kind of touched on it before, but it subsided a bit. The more you win, you're starting to gain fans. So, but I'm telling you, the visceral hate you get, and I love every second of it, and it's not like, like they're part of the show. No, they hate you. And how does that make you feel? Because they actually literally hate you, like the way you were talking about Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
Right. And honestly, you can ask anyone. Like I get hate just for saying that I'm a fan of yours. People have threatened to kick me off of groups.
First off, I only recognized you as Canada Rock. So when you said Raiko, I didn't recognize you.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, thanks. I've seen the love from you in chat, and like you going up on the screen against and talking to Frank Janish about things about me being a heel as well. Like I still watch all of the after shows and like rundowns and all of that, even before, but especially after we stopped being in studio, because that's the only feedback I get. Because in your virtual matches, you don't hear the studio or the theater audiences like booing or cheering, and I don't know, like people becoming fans of me now, especially since I'm being a really hammy character, sort of like I feel bad that people are becoming fans of me, because that means I'm not doing my job right. At least that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. But like Schmoedown especially has this great tradition of people loving heels so much that they become their own nation and army and so on as well. So it's still par for the course for the Schmoedown, I guess. So I'm happy to get that sort of recognition. It's just to me, I'm like, what sort of example am I setting that people actually like that I'm being mean or
well, if it'll make you feel better, we're still a minority. We're a loud minority, and I'm trying to get it to be called the Chosen, right? So we are your Chosen.
Nice.
I don't know if a Christian will let you do that, but you can have your own chosen army.
You should. The Chosen. Yeah. It's just the Chosen, not even an army. It's just the Chosen, like a cult. It's like a cult. Fucking what's that one that HBO?
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
The Chosen
Gate. You'd be your Heaven's Gate.
Yeah, we should definitely think of the branding for sure, right?
Yeah, I'll start something, because I know at least 3 or 4 others, and I don't know if this is outing her, but oh my God, Lady Justice,
Marisol McKee.
Marisol, that she was totally into your outfit.
Okay,
no spoilers, but she loved it. She goes, "Don't hate me, but I'm digging his look."
Oh yeah, she told me that as well.
Yeah, see, good love. Is that good, Raiko? Or do you have something else?
Big fan. Oh no, I'm good. Okay. I just wanted to say thank you, and I'm looking forward to next year to both of you, and especially and of course Chandru, but you too, Outlaw.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah. No spoilers. Thanks, man.
No spoilers.
Good to see you.
All right, bye.
Let's bring in Alan Smithy, the director, Alan Smithy. I'm sure you know Alan Smithy. He's directed a few films here. Raiko, what's up?
Salute, everybody. What's up, Rocha? How's it going?
I love it, man. It's good for me. I love it.
Are you laughing at my hat?
No, not at all.
Okay, I'm just making sure. And Chandru, the Chosen, how are you doing?
I'm great, Alan. How are you?
All right. I am also, like Canada Rocks, a major fan of yours. I've been supporting you, and people have negative reactions. It's all right. Some of them are just jealous. Some of them would rather be yelling at a football game. We all understand that kind of comparison. So anyway, But I was wondering, Chandru, if you were in the singles league, name a player that you think you definitely think you could beat? Because you said the league is stacked. So, like, let's drop a name here and let's get one person pissed off
the road at this stage.
Yeah. I don't know. With singles, it's a lot of luck based, right? Like with IG, I've tried to like design my own luck as much as possible. Like with singles, it's hard to say. It's a lot of it depends on the wheel and how it goes and so on. So I cannot say for certain, but I feel like Ben Goddard and it would be competitive. I don't think I don't think I'd beat
this.
Like I can't say for sure I'd beat him, but like I can make it competitive.
No, you're calling him out. You're calling out the bandit. We're all respectful of that. I'm sure Goddard's watching and he's taking it. So this sounds great.
He doesn't watch my content.
What have I got?
Dollars and donuts. You don't watch my content. I think the reason he stepped back and didn't play a lot, he saw the Den wasn't going to win the faction thing. And so in his mind, I think he's been watching movies. I think he's been studying. I think he's been getting better and better because he wants to blow the league away next year. That guy is got an ego the size of Grand Canyon, and he's got confidence in himself, and he wants to prove himself. And I guarantee you, he is studying and getting ready, kind of like Chandru did with his 5 months before he took on Kevin. I think that's what Goddard is doing, and I respect that. That's how you got to come at this league now. Just like Chandru said about Kevin, like Kevin revitalized IG. I think Colin's coming in and waking everybody up, revitalized singles for sure, because it had just been me, Dan, or Kellen, me, Dan, or whoever else was holding the belt at the time, back and forth. And here comes Collins, be like, whoosh, to come in and challenge Dan for the belt. So that's great to see.
Yeah. Well, since this is a spoiler-free broadcast, let's just pretend that the matches haven't happened yet. Chandru, can you do me a favor? Will you beat Chance just for me?
I'll try, man.
Please, if you have the belt, hold it up and say, "This is for Smithy." Okay.
I'm going to defend this belt for Smithy.
All right.
There you go. Mark it
Thank
down.
you guys. Well, it's good meeting you, Chandru. And hey, Rocha, rock on.
Thank you, sir.
We'll see what changes happen in your world in the spectacular.
Thank you.
Me and Tom are trying. See you, brother.
All right.
All right, Smithy. Thanks so much. Let's get some more of these Streamlabs, and then we'll chair this summit here. Chandru. Let's see. Haskell. Yeah, already Haskell. We did that. All right. Chrissy donated. She said, Chandru, have any other managers reached out to you? Any others you would be interested in playing for? I love your heel work, by the way. Yeah, Chandru, what do you want to say about that? Have other managers reached out to you? And you say very clearly you're not looking, but that doesn't mean the managers can't kick the tires on you and see if they might be able to pitch something to you for sure.
And managers, no. I don't think no, none of them have reached out. Like I think it shows that they all have like realized how strong a bond like Winston and I have, and either that or they just don't want to work with me. So either ways, I'm happy to like not disappoint anyone because most likely I'm gonna stay with Winston. I'd be stupid to leave Winston because like in my mind and like rightfully for a lot of people he is manager of the year. Even though we're trailing by 11 points going into spectacular.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if it would be stupid necessarily. I mean, because it doesn't. It might mean you might want to change some things up. You're an analytical guy. Maybe there's a better situation out there. Who knows? I'm just saying. Yeah. You never know. Let's see. Hugo Chavez donated. He said, "Great to see Chandru tonight. Been a fan since day one. Have any managers, you don't have to name names, approached you about joining their factions next season?" Well, I read these because they sent.
They asked, yeah.
Which manager other than Winston has impressed you with their style? That's a good question. Bring on the war for season 8. Yeah, Chandru, have any other managers impressed you over this year? I mean, you got to say Shannon, right? Yeah.
Shannon, of course, and other than Shannon, I feel like Roxy and Roxy and Koi were also like really impressive managers, especially like bringing out the best out their players. So I think to me, the impressive managers are the ones who change their managing style based on whom they're managing.
Yeah.
Too. So Koi managing the witching power was not the same as Koi managing Shazam, or Koi managing the Real Rejects during their post teams and IG matches.
Yeah.
And same with Roxy, like the way she manages Damon is completely different from the way she manages Snyder or Enrico or the Odd Couple or Del Rio. And with Winston, it goes without saying, like he changes his style based on each person the person he's managing as well. Like he caters it to that person and what they need out of his management as well. So all of those people have been really impressive, and I'm also impressed by like Kate learning things on the rope, because she was not a big Schmoedown person. Like she hadn't watched too many Schmoedown matches to begin with, she was actually watching and learning from the Schmoedown and managing at the same time. And she's done a lot of like incredible stuff while entertaining stuff while doing that as well.
Good point. Actually, Andrew Hale donated some more. He said, Chandru, can you teach John how to do the floss dance? Or is that asking for too much? Don't worry, John. I'll cover your medical bill if anything happens. I think I can do the floss dance. Hold on. Andrew, hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me see. Let me create some space.
Okay. Let me.
This. Wait, okay. I don't want to break anything, so tell me.
So it's in threes. So most dance steps are usually in fours, right? Like it's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, but the floss is in threes, like a waltz or something. Yeah. So put your hand out to the side.
Yeah.
One is, so basically your hip moves in the opposite. Yeah, your hip moves in the opposite direction as your hands. So one.
Wait. So it goes forward.
So yeah, exactly. Forward. Yeah. Back. Okay. And then three is your hands move to the other side, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. So forward.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Back. And then hands move to the other side.
So forward and back. Forward and back.
Right? So yeah, you don't need to turn your entire body per se. Just your hip going to the sides instead of like turning itself.
Well, the move is this. So you go forward.
Yeah.
Then do you go back up then switch, or do you switch?
So you have to switch and go back at the same time. So it's not so much forward as your body, your hip going to the side. So still try to face forward, like shoulder forward as much as possible. So it's just one. So when your hip goes to the left, your hands go to the right, and then back.
Yeah.
And then your hands go to the other side. Yeah. Try to keep your shoulders facing forward the entire time. Yeah, exactly.
Wait, let me disconnect this. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna speak.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay. If it helps, keep counting 3 in your head. So 1, 2, 3 is when your hand crosses over and goes to the other side. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So you got it. So the only difference is don't turn your shoulders. Like keep your shoulders facing forward. So it's not so much turning. It's just your hand, your hip going to the side instead of like you turning and going forward. So you're doing this. Keep your shoulders facing forward and do this.
Okay. Show me fully.
Okay. So it's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
That's what I'm.
Yeah. So yeah, you're still turning your shoulder.
Okay.
Yeah, keep looking at the camera. Like keep your shoulders facing the camera. So it's just 1, 2, 3, 1.
Yeah, I think that's what I want to do. Oh well, I can do other dances. If I could dance, I'd be doing a different career right now. So I did my best. Jeff,
that was great. You had the rhythm correct. You just we just need to. It's hard to teach dance over Zoom as well, or over StreamYard as well. Like if we were in person, like you would be flossing great right now.
Hey man, I'm always willing to try anything. I'm always willing up for anything. Jeff Nicholas, Jeff, you're not putting any. Are you trying to say something? Put it in the chat, and I'll bring it up. Sometimes people have issues.
Sometimes, people automatically click.
Let's see. One more. Alan Smithy. Look at me. I'm out of breath. I'm so out of shape. Alan Smithy says, thanks again, Rocha and Chandru. Always fun to meet heels and talk Schmoedown. And here's a spoiler. The Spectacular was the best Schmoedown I've seen this year. Can't wait for more Drip Drip and Yippee-Ki-Yay Outlaw Nation. Yeah, I would agree. I said this to a lot of people. This was the greatest Spectacular we've ever had. Every match from top to bottom was stellar.
Yeah.
And was good and was entertaining, was fun, and people brought their A games. They came to play, and that was great to see for sure. So I love it. All right, let's see how many likes we got on this thing. 91 likes. Thank you. We've got about 80 of y'all watching us. So I think it's time, Sean. We're gonna gavel in the Heel Summit. So if you don't mind, Sean, if you don't mind gaveling it in.
Hear ye. Heel Summit has begun.
All right. Forget that bullshit you just saw me trying to dance. That's not what the Outlaw does. Where he dances, where his moves are is in the ring and wins titles and wins matches. That's what I do. The first ever Heel Summit has been chaired here, gavelled in on the Outlaw Nation channel.
Wait, was that dancing?
Chandru, shut up. Get out of here. Idiot. All right, Chandru, you've been an incredible heel. Like we said before, how do you come up with your quips? How do you come up with your cracks? Like what's the work you do off stage, off set that brings that you find those jabs, those barbs, those unique shots you take at your competitors? Where do you find that stuff?
I've been incredibly lucky to just like play against people that are just soft targets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just I don't even have to try to come up with stuff. They just like hand it to me. The way they play the game, with the way where they handle themselves with their records and so on. So most of the time they do the work for me. I just have to like speak truth, and that just feels like heel work to a lot of people. So I'm just like, out there having fun, saying the truth and saying what everybody sees. And apparently I'm the bad guy in the situation.
Do you feel like you've been dating Sabrina yourself because you're inside Brandon Hanna's head for so long? Do you feel like you've been dating Sabrina for the last few months?
I don't want to go there.
It's a Heel Summit, Chandru.
I mean, so here's the problem. So let me tackle it differently. I just want to say Sabrina has a lot to thank me for, because without me handing Brandon Hanna that loss and like him being ditched by the Den because of that, he wouldn't have had that much free time to date Sabrina and develop their relationship and so on. He'd be too busy signing autographs. Yeah. And thanks to me, he's squashing his Schmoedown career. He actually has time for being middle of the pack and building relationships and so on. So if anything, Sabrina should just send me a thank you over DM, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Absolutely. I agree with you 1,000%. 1,000%. Everyone thinks they're the couple of the Schmoedown. You got to win matches to be the couple of the Schmoedown. Right now, they're in a trailer park of the Schmoedown with their records, for God's sakes. When you look at the situation, here coming up, Chance tries to be a heel, but it fails miserably. It's almost pathetic that you have to play this clown in a one-on-one match for the title. Yeah, he won that IG tournament. He beat his partner who laid down and let him win. So this is almost an insult to you that you have to play him, right?
To me, that entire tournament, except for Paul Oyama, was just filled with a lot of IG rookies and has-beens. And someone who won that sort of junior league tournament, who's like in a completely separate league compared to like Smets and I. challenges for the belt almost directly after beating some nobodies is just laughable to me. And the fact that he thinks he can win a belt without Mike by his side, it's just it's cute. He needs until season 6 he needed Mike there to clean his diapers, and now he needs both Mike and Shannon there to clean his diapers for him. And I don't know, without Mike's support, if he can handle that pressure all by his cute little thumb.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I absolutely 1,000% agree with you. Without Mike there to take the blame for the losses whenever they lose, he doesn't have anybody to blame but himself, and he hates that. So now the fact that he's going up against you, I don't know what they're going to do. Now, no matter how much Mike can train him, Chance has still got to be in the ring with you, and we've seen him wilt before many times in first-round matches in the past in the tournament. So the fact that he got to a final, that's great for him, but it doesn't mean he's necessarily going to beat you, for God's sakes. It's insulting. They should spot him 15 points just to make it fair, to be honest.
I mean, even with 15 points, I don't think he can win.
Yeah, exactly. Now, there have been a lot of rumors about people coming back to the Schmoedown. There have been rumors about Rachel Cushing or Mara Kanopik coming back maybe to challenge you or find a way to challenge you for the belt. Why would you, I mean, like, would you ever entertain an offer to play these two has-beens, these people who just aren't playing anymore?
I mean, these people, Rachel and Mara especially, are some of the pillars of the IG division.
Absolutely.
But I'm here to raise the ceiling on this division. And in order to raise the ceiling, you need to destroy some old pillars and build some new pillars. And that's all I'd say.
All right. That's fair. That's fair. You got to build some stronger pillars for sure. Absolutely. When you look at all the people that you've played, Kevin Smets, you got Smets at some point. We're not going to cross any lines here. We all cheer for him. We all want him to smash Cancer for sure. We love him to death because we want him to come back so you can whip him again. Is that correct?
I can't wait for him to beat Cancer so I can beat him.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've heard rumors that there were rumors that you were going to show up at some of his chemotherapy sessions and challenge him there while he was getting the chemotherapy. Is that true?
Whatever gets him motivated, I'm happy to do it. I'm ready to do it. And he owes me a rubber match, and I make sure he fights his fight so he can come fight our fight.
Well, listen, you and I have a bone to pick with each other. I'm going to put this out on the table now. A lot of people talking about you as the greatest heel ever. People really, really hate you. I mean, I'm not jealous of much or envy much in this game, but the way they used to hate me is the way they hate you now. It's so insane to watch it happen. It's like 2.0. Do you think you're better than me, or where do you rank yourself as in terms of heel hierarchy in the Schmoedown?
I mean, for one, I don't go to the Facebook group or Twitter and pick a fight with every single fan who doesn't like me or like who tarnishes my legacy, because like I'm above that.
Who are you referencing there?
A little bit of you, a little bit of Mike, and
I'm not in that group anymore. But yeah, go ahead.
Because you kept picking fights with poor fans who didn't even know what was going on, Rocha. I feel like of all the heels that I mentioned, I've had the thicker skin out of necessity, and also out of the way. Yeah. I've dealt with my whole life, so that's one of the things I pride myself in, and I don't feel the need to be liked because that's not what I'm here to do. Yeah, especially this season.
Well, the thing is, you're lucky because you came after the things we did. We built the groundwork, and we also showed you what to do and not to do in this game. So that's why you don't go into that Facebook message group and have those battles with those idiotic fans sometimes who shoot their mouths off while they're sitting in their mom's basement, stuffing their faces with a second Happy Meal of the day. That's the disgusting thing you have to deal with when you're on my level. Those are the fans I had to deal with way back when. They got all weepy-eyed because they got called a name, for God's sakes. But they said the most vitriolic shit to you, and they got hurt. So you're lucky because you came after what we did. You're like the fourth child. Yeah, we already broke all the rules for you, so you get to skate on in and get mommy and daddy loving you like the baby of the family.
All right. First of all, you're lucky there are not 17 different after shows pooping on your name like when you were a heel, Rocha. The amount of vitriol, like even amongst the players themselves when they go on these after shows and they talk about me, like Rachel Cushing didn't want to say my name during the spectacular preview. If you want to talk about like who gets more shit on, like we can compare apples and oranges all day long. But but we'll just leave it at that, and other than that, at least you got to build a whole YouTube career out of being hated, and I'm just here to keep my belt, and I have my own career which is not going to be helped by getting more eyes on my
Listen here, you son of a bitch. I built my career reviewing movies for a legitimate outlet. I didn't start a YouTube channel and hope people watched my stuff. I've got credibility, son, not like a lot of these other people. So give me a break.
Then why is the show called the Outlaw Nation, not the Rocha Nation?
Well, because the Outlaw is what people have known for, and because I do a lot of hot takes, and people who come on my show have a lot of hot takes. Your own manager, Winston A. Marshall, he can be controversial sometimes. The Outlaw Nation channel is about telling the truth about what's really happening. I got Dorina Arellano on this channel. She's dropping truth bombs all over the place.
Oh, of course.
Implied truths. Laura Kelly dropping some tough choice words about the recent trilogy in Star Wars. She doesn't back down. So, that's what the Outlaw Nation is. It's people telling the truth without fear of studios, actors, anybody coming after them. That's why I built it this way. The Rocha Nation, that seems arrogant. Who would name themselves the name of that's like the Fife Club. Give me a break. How much ego do you need? You got to name it your thing, What was the Miss Movies faction? That's another one, for God's sakes. Don't get me started. Ridiculous. If you put your name in the name of your faction, you've got some ego problems you need to see a therapist about. Now you've got a good manager here in Winston A. Marshall. He's a smart son of a bitch. I like him a lot. The A stands for quality. But there are other managers out there. The Finstock Exchange. Come on. Tom, one bad year doesn't mean Tom's entire career is shit, does it?
You just talked about egomaniacs putting their own name in the faction name, and you're trying to talk up Finstock Exchange in the same breath, Rocha.
He earned it. Finstock's, he's won Manager of the Year for 6 years. He earned. That's not ego. That's facts.
All right. First of all, I don't even know if he actually managed any of those players as opposed to just hitching his wagon on people who were already gaining successes. Like the only team that he built from ground up was Who's the Boss, and they had their moment, but like you can see them crumbling over on top of each other the entire time, like entire seasons 6 and 7. Yeah. And with the Founding Fathers, with the Dan and you, with
we won the title
with the Patriots and all of that. Yeah, but you were already a great team to begin with, and he just like hitched his wagon to your name because like he saw success in their head. So I feel like he's way more of a front runner than way more of a front runner than anything. And as soon as people lose out, he starts dissing them already. Like look at what happened to Ben Bateman when he lost to Dan. Like during the Ben and Dan match, he kept talking about how he's in the saddest position possible instead of like trying to help his players. So
that was strategy, trying to help Dan win the belt, and then Dan went ahead and won the belt. So kept the belt. So I mean, there was strategy. There's a look. I'm surprised this is coming from you. You're supposedly this rocket scientist and working on multiple levels. You play 3D chess in your sleep, apparently. You don't understand what Finstock is doing. He is working on many, many levels. Ben Bateman disappointed him in the middle of the year. He didn't like what was going on with Ben. He felt Dan was the stronger choice. So he managed in a way to get sympathy from Ben so he could throw Ben off so that Dan could slide in and win. That's 8D chess. That's 8D chess what Finstock is playing.
losing to Shazam and Corruption on the same night, so two teams had to fight between which team enters the team's tournament. Was that also 3D chess? Was that also like Finstock playing his three-dimensional forward-thinking game plan?
Look, he can only do so much, and don't start like that Corruption match was tight. It was one answer away from losing that. The Shazam match was something else, and that was Ben Bateman, I think, throwing that match because he didn't want to win it. That's what it felt like to me, and he wanted to kind of get back at Finstock. He's a very disturbed individual. That boss Bateman. I feel bad for him.
And who managed him to become that deeply deranged individual? It was.
I don't know if you manage Ben. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if you manage Ben. Ben manages himself. He likes to talk about how smart he is about the game all the time. Trust me, he'll tell you how great he is. He's the first one to do it. Anyway, all right. That's is that it? Is that it? What else do you want to say about the? I mean, is there anyone out there that you really want to play or take on or kick their ass because you don't like the way they handle themselves in the Schmoedown?
Oh, there's so many. Is this IG specific or
no? It's Schmoedown specific.
It's Schmoedown specific. Schmoedown specific. I want to play Collins in an IG match if he can earn his way to a title match, because I'm not planning on losing this belt at all.
Yeah.
So if he wins his way up to a title match in IG, I would love to kick his ass some and prove that he is not the end all be all Jesus that Schmoedown of the Schmoedown that people claim him to be. And I
don't think he is either. He's not. He's not. I could sit in my mom's basement and answer questions, for God's sakes. It's ridiculous. Plus, he's friends with the question writers. I wonder. All of a sudden, he can destroy everybody. Seems a bit weird to me. I'm just going to put that out there. But we'll see. I mean, he certainly won that tournament. We'll see what he did in Schmoedown Spectacular. No spoilers here, because I'll kill you. I'm just saying that. So we'll see what he does when he gets a shot at the big man there. And people are going to watch that match at some point because they're dropping them every Friday here for people to watch who weren't able to pay for the pay-per-view. And if you didn't pay for the pay-per-view, come on, it's $10. I know you're buying 2 Starbucks in your month. That's $10. You could have paid for the pay-per-view. It's ridiculous. Chandru, can anyone touch you as an IG player at this point? This is my last question. I mean, is there anybody out there that you remotely consider to be in your league? You've changed this division. You've owned this division. People are forgetting that Kevin Smets played in the division. That's how well you've played and won that title.
Oh yeah. As of now, I'm not concerned with anyone. So let's see if they want to make it like a handicap match of 1 versus 2, so they can actually like try and pry the belt from me. A handicap match like Rachel played against the Lion's Den or the Blofeld Cat, Enrico and R&B. Yeah. So we'd have to set up a match like that, so where I actually feel threatened that the belt would actually leave my shoulder. So maybe a team up of Chance and Mike, where Mike would constantly have to prop his teammate up would be like a fun match to play. Other than that, I'm not worried about anyone. I want to call out Damon though, Alex Damon. Some people are calling him Damon. All right. Yeah, some people are calling him the most dominant Star Wars player ever, or most dominant single division player ever. I've seen his play in Inner Geekdom. Like, I cannot believe that he actually got to the semifinals of the tournament. I mean, that tells you how much of a joke this whole junior league tournament was in IG. And wow. he had to play Jen Kemp and Brandon Hanna to get to the semifinals, and with Brandon Hanna he actually had to have multiple things go his way with the wheel slices and the round 3 numbers and so on. So I want to challenge him to a half IG, half Star Wars match. If he can take care of business in the spectacular, if I can take care of business in the spectacular, both belts on the line, it's going to be half IG, half Star Wars. The winner takes both belts.
Champion versus champion. You heard it first. That would be an awesome match. 1,000%. I would love to see IG versus Star Wars champion versus champion match. Look, Christian Harloff loves crafting this thing like a WWE situation. We saw Hulk Hogan take on the Ultimate Warrior with his belt on the line, Hogan's belt on the line. But other matches we've seen where 2 champions have put both their belts on the line, Whoever wins it takes the belt. So why not? I think that'd be awesome to see you take on Alex Damon. You know, it's crazy to me that people want to put him on Mount Schmoedown when he's won a total of 5 matches his entire It's ridiculous to me, for God's sakes. Do you understand how Mount Schmoedown works, for God's? I mean, playing the occasional person once every 8 months should not put you on the Schmoedown. It's Dominic because he has 8 months to study in between matches. For God's sakes, no one else has to do that. That would be insane to me. Is Ben Bateman in here? Ben, get in here.
I see Ben in the chat.
Ben, the Heel Summit is happening. Ben, you've got the link. Put the link in the chat. Sean, put the link in the chat. Bring Ben Bateman in here. The Heel Summit isn't complete without Ben Bateman coming in here. Bateman, you got something to say? Are they going to put him in here, for God's sakes? He says, Chandru representing Swag Hard. Heavy lies the crowd, looking forward to what's next. He said he is the most dominant singles division player. He'll have about Damon 3 years in the summer. Who's he talking about?
I think he's talking about Damon.
Alex, yeah, you can have the belt when you only play 5 matches in 5 years, for God's sakes. That's ridiculous to me. He's already got it. He's got a YouTube channel. Yeah, where are you, Ben? Get in here, Bateman. Put the link in, Sean. Put the link in, Sean. God damn, you can't find good producers in this town, for God's sakes. They fall off trucks. Hold on, let me put the invite in.
Okay. I'll be right back.
All right, go piss. I'm not going full Tom Cruise. There are people losing their houses. You guys are standing out here, not practicing 6 feet of distance, not wearing your masks. You're not shutting this movie down. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah, where is Ben? Come on, Ben, get in here. You saw the thing. Put on your sunglasses. Get in here. Let's have some fun. He's taking a piss, this kid, this Chandru kid. What kind of heel goes and takes a piss in the middle of the summit? We got another panel to go. We got 2 more panels in here. Austin Cadell says, we can hear you peeing, Chandru. It's ridiculous. Maybe Ben's not coming in. Where's Ben? Maybe he's not coming in. Jesus, this drives me insane. All right, let's do some Streamlabs and turn your mic back on. Uh-oh. There it is. It ain't a heel summit without Ben Bateman in here. Dad, you need the boss in this shit. What's up, boss?
People are out here losing their fucking homes. I can't hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. You know,
look,
you're not shutting this movie down. You're not shutting this movie down.
I got to tell you guys. I've listened to it 6 times now. It's the greatest thing I've ever heard, because Tom Cruise cares so deeply about the future of the industry. He cares so deeply about making movies. He's literally yelling about keeping jobs together and not letting his industry collapse. And yes. I see the fucking hashtag Scientology, and it's like, are you out of your fucking mind? Did anybody listen to this? He's talking about the fact that the highest grossing movie last weekend was $4 million and theaters are going to go out of business. And he's saying, put on your fucking mask so we can make this movie. I was like, I want a manager to run the faction that way. That's what I want. I want my manager to fucking walk in, you know?
Yeah, I agree with you, Ben. Listen, the 3 of us know this is a heel summit. The 3 of us know there's a bunch of soft people in the world, and they get their feelings hurt all the time because you have to yell at them because they don't listen. They're not standing 6 feet apart. They're wearing their masks below their noses. And Tom was calling them out because you know what? Like you said, Tom goes to bed. He's got the whole industry on his shoulders. And you got to respect that. I want that from my manager. When the Outlaw goes to bed, I used to carry the Schmoedown on my back, for God's sakes. I know that pain. And you did too for a time, boss. And now it's this kid's shot, this Chandru kid.
Look, Chandru is doing something right now. He's delivering. He's acting like a prick, like he's supposed to, and he's winning. You know, and Chandru, it's a great position you're in. It's a great position to be. I have to think he'll be retained by your faction. I would have to imagine. It seems likely. Mm-hmm. You know, it's kind of crazy, though, that you are who you are, and your manager is Winston. It's sort of inconsistent, but somehow it manages to work. I don't know how that is. I guess he just supports you in being exactly who it is you want to be. But here's the question I have for you, Outlaw. It is no secret we will not be on a faction together next year. That is not happening as far as...
You made that happen. You made that happen. But
look, I knew what I was doing, but my understanding, based on what's being represented by that idiot that you're still running around town with, is you're going to be signing with that guy. I don't know what you're doing, but it seems to me, that's what I'm hearing, is that you're going to stay with him. You're going to stay with him. Yeah. Now, you're going to stay with this guy. And do you believe he actually has your back? He knows what he's doing? He certainly didn't seem like he knew what he was doing when he managed me.
I think because you were difficult to manage. You manage yourself. You're not an easy person to manage. You think you figured out you think you're playing 8D chess up in this thing. You are difficult to manage because you think you figured the game out, and the game bit you in the ass this year and humbled you a little bit. We all know what that's like. And look, I respect your point of view. I respect what you went through. But Tom clearly needs certain people he can manage and can't manage. And Tom, for 6 years, was manager of the year. So he tried to handle and put together a superstar team, and the superstar team let him down. I don't think Tom let us down. I think we let him down with some of our performances in the end here. And I think I want to give him one more chance because he's a winner, he's a champion, and I don't give up on a person after just one bad year. Come on.
Chandru, let me ask you, what do you make of a guy that fires the greatest of all time?
Oh, how the tables have turned. First of all, I think Tom is still riding hard with Dan going into the spectacular. We're not talking spectacular.
Yeah, spoilers. There's no spoilers here.
but like the first half of the season, I remember Ben was touting Tom Dagnino as the greatest manager of all time, and John Rocha was saying was dissing Tom every chance he gets. And now how the tables have turned. Ben is actually seeing the truth now, which I appreciate. And John is drinking the Kool-Aid of how Dagnino is like the best manager of all time. Of the three of us on screen, A, who has a winning record this season, and B, who has a belt this season? And
it's cute that you think 1 year means a goddamn thing. Last year, Kevin Smets was the killer. What happened to him? You beat him, and he's news. Someone's going to beat you, and you're going to be yesterday's news, kid. You never know. Ben and I have been through the wars in many years. So listen, wipe your snot off your face and understand where you are in this hierarchy. You are lucky to even be on the screen with the boss and I with what we've accomplished, kid.
I understand. Like,
I'm glad you got one belt. That's cute. One whole belt. That's nice. Wake me up when you get 4. You clown.
Yeah, wake me up when you play in a division that isn't the here's your spoon-fed 266 movies to study, or whatever the hell it is you guys have to look at. Yeah. Here, let me tell you literally all the information that you could possibly need to know. My list is like 19,000 movies or something like that. You know, I put movie release dates on the wheel. You know how many movies they could ask me about? All of them. Literally any of them. So I respect what you do in your division, Chandru. I really do. And I really believe that you have played well in that division, and you deserve to talk as much. Can I swear on the show?
Yeah, absolutely.
You can talk as much shit as you want. And I loved the night before that. We can't talk about the spectacular.
Right.
But going into spectacular, all I can say is that Chance Ellison was nipping at my heels on Twitter and talking a lot of crap. And I'd love to see you go up against that guy. So
yeah.
Anyway, I only had a minute to jump in here, guys. Okay. I saw you talking. I do think Alex Damon is the greatest single division champion we've ever seen. I know he hasn't had. Look, Rocha, he hasn't had to play a lot of matches. The guy has retained his belt for 2.5 years. 2.5 years.
You can do that when you play 3 times in 2.5 years. Have him try to retain it when you're costly defending it or costly getting into a singles tournament. Then come have a conversation to me. Until then. But I respect your point of view. You host Schmoedown backstage. I respect your point. You're an intelligent man, but I don't agree with your assessment of this.
What do you think is okay? So when does he enter the conversation? He defends it 2 more times. He starts the year. He defends it against this triple threat, and then he does it again mid-year spectacular. Is that what you're thinking?
I think he has to. I think he has to give up the belt, go through an entire Star Wars tournament from round 1 all the way on, then win it, then go through the IG tournament, win that. Then I'll give him the respect to be on the Mount Schmoedown.
You think that no amount of Star Wars wins by Alex Damon qualifies him to be, and I didn't say Mount Rushmore. I said greatest single division champion ever. I don't even think just being the greatest Star Wars champion gets him on there.
You just said 19,000 movies. Star Wars is like 11 movies, 10 movies. Give me a break. 19,000 movies. Dan Murrow clearly is the greatest single division player we've ever seen. Alex Damon studying 10 movies. Hello, he also hosts a show about it, so he's talking about it all the time. That's like me saying I'm the greatest If there was a Westerns division, I'd be the greatest singles champion ever. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. You know this, boss. If there was an Oscars category or Oscars division, and you were the title winner, and you defended the title 3 times in 5 years, I wouldn't call you the greatest single division champion either. And there's way more movies in Oscars than Star Wars.
I don't know. I'm just saying it's pretty impressive. Go ahead, Chandru.
And this is the first time they actually had a gauntlet to go through to challenge Damon for the belt. And until this time, they were just fatal 5-ways or like automatic title shots to like just go up against Alex Damon. I'm not diminishing anything he's done. Before Ace, the match that is coming up, he's never placed people on like a win streak, right? Like he's just played someone who's gotten lucky in a single fatal 5-way.
I saw Chris
and momentum
screening, picking people out of the line to play Damon. That's how little you have to play Damon in the past.
Exactly. And in the Schmoedown, momentum means everything, and one 5-way does not give you as much momentum as Dan defending against a tournament winner, or say
or you Ben twice,
or you Ben. Yeah, exactly.
Well, he didn't defend against me twice. He beat me.
Oh, they're right.
He beat you once.
And played you twice.
Yeah.
Now you split hairs. God damn it. All right. Anyway,
those are brutal losses. I'm going to take those losses, and you watch. I won't lose. I won't lose this year, and I will have both belts at the end of the season.
Me and you have some unfinished business, and I can't wait to see you in the ring next year.
John, I'd love to see what you do next year. I have high hopes where you end up. I think you're going to end up with a wonderful situation, and I can't wait to see who you end up with. And I can't wait to go out there and show you who was holding the exchange together.
Yeah, I can't wait to show you, because I carry the Schmoedown on my back. I can tell you what, at night I go to sleep thinking about the Schmoedown. I can't wait to show you when I carry Tom back to prominence, back to success. It's going to be the irony of ironies that it's the Outlaw, one of his greatest enemies, who drags that man back to prominence, along with the Barbarian, and God knows who else we can get back on this team. For God's sake.
The best part is when he drops his energy down after about 2 minutes into it. He goes, and if I see it again, you're gone. Yeah. If I see it again, you're gone.
I agree. And he's like, and he says, what does he say to them at the end there? He's like, no, if you can't explain it to me, if I don't see your reasoning, then you're gone.
It's incredible. My friend Evan, who's the world's biggest Tom Cruise impersonator, that's his job. He tweeted about it a second ago, and he was like, I was just waiting for him to say to the guy, "You got it? Is it clear? Crystal." He wanted the crystal clear exchange. He wanted the fucking A Few Good Men thing. So it would have been amazing. I got to go listen to it again. All right, guys, have a good show. I'll see you in the ring. And
awesome. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Ben.
Always great to see the boss here joining us for the Heel Summit. He's the best. Thanks for him stopping in. Chandru, we got to wrap this thing up here, man. You got to go. I got to go. Let's answer some more questions here real quick. Okay, so real quick, Ambrosio4 said, do I smell a team up for 2021? Obviously talking about me and you, Chandru. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, there's going to be a lot of pitches. There's going to be a lot of pitches Chandru's way. He has the belt currently. We don't want to say anything about Spectacular, but he has the belt currently. And even if he loses the belt at Spectacular, for those who may not have seen it, he is still one of the greatest IG players. So managers are going to want him on their faction. All right. With that, I'm gonna gavel out the first Heel Summit. We had a great visit from Ben Bateman, and now we're back to being ourselves. So, any final words before I go back?
Oh, final heel words.
Yeah,
I think I've said all I had to say. One last thing is, like, I'm with Bateman on this because he's recognized Dagnino as the worst manager of all time, and I agree with him.
Nah, he's just crying. Those are sour grapes because he got kicked out of the faction. All right, let's bring in Calvin. Calvin, what do you got? What do you got for us, Calvin? Are you listening? He's not even paying attention. Calvin.
Yeah, what's up? I am paying attention, Rocha. Can you hear me?
Good.
Yeah.
What's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
No, I've never met Chandru. And I want to ask you, Chandru. The hair, man. I love the hair. I love the hair, man. It's crazy.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you know you killing it in inner geekdom. You know you killing it. But I wanted to talk to Rocha because I was supposed to come on here and give him an idea. Remember,
Chandru, it's your choice. Do you want to stick around? Calvin is pitching an idea.
I mean, yeah, I don't want to intervene.
Let's see what your thoughts. You want to give your thoughts on this, or do you want to wrap up and roll, and I'll bring Calvin back on afterwards?
I mean, that's fine. I can stay.
Okay. All right, Calvin. You got two champs.
Well,
one current, one former. Listening to your pitch, so you better make it good.
Well, it's just something I had going around in my head, and I'd like to get Chandru's thoughts on it as well. What I thought of was it's just me doing like at the end of the week. At the end of the week, it's like a weekly show, all right? And it's like a Sunday show, you know what I mean? And it's just like me going through what's going on through the week, and then I just talk about it, give my thoughts about it, and you know what I'm saying? And it's because you put me in the corner, right? On the Outlaw Nation channel, you put me in the corner. You put me right there in the corner. So it's Calvin's corner. So it's giving me, you know, a chance to give my thoughts on what's going on for the week in the week of news.
All right. So what would we put up in the bigger frame where you're in the corner?
I don't know, man. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
God damn it, Calvin. Keep working on this, man. I'm going to have to tell you. You got, you know, work with Sean. Sean will tell you what a pitch looks like, and you got to come up with it from top to bottom, brother, man. Top to bottom. What is the episode going to look like? What's the point of the episode? Give me one sentence that describes the show. All of that is what you got to do in a pitch, man. And
well, here's the thing, Rocha. I don't know about the graphics and everything like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the premise.
Yeah, what's your premise? Give it to me in one
line. I just told you the premise.
You just said you're in a corner talking about the week's news.
Yes, that's.
Yeah, but I need something more than that. Everybody does that. What's going to make you stand out? If Chandru came up to me and said, "I'm going to be a heel in the Schmoedown, I'm going to wear a cowboy hat and talk really angrily at people," I'd be like, "That's already been done." So I'm saying to you, Calvin, I think you got to find out. What did I tell you 2 weeks ago? I said you got to hammer the show out so that it's uniquely you. What's it going to be that's going to be uniquely you? You know, Chandru was giving me shit about starting the Outlaw Nation, but that's why the Outlaw Nation is people drop real opinions on here and risk getting in trouble with their opinions because they're telling their truth, you know? And that's why I called it the Outlaw Nation, because it isn't following the rules. It's telling the truth. So what's your thing?
Well, I can already tell you. I mean, I was trying to keep it clean.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was trying to keep it clean. You talking about, nobody follows the rules and all this bullshit like that. I don't have to keep it clean. I was trying to keep it clean. I was trying to keep it professional. That's what I came up with.
What is you? What is you want to do? If it's talking shit and talking mad smack and all that kind of
I can talk shit.
All right, then. That's the thing.
That ain't no problem. I didn't know what you want, Rocha. I don't know what you want me to do. You know what I'm saying? I can do that. That ain't no thing.
I want you to come up with a show that is Calvin, not come up with a show that's been done already. Come up with a show that is Calvin. It is uniquely you, right? What is it that's going to make you stand out? That's going to make the difference, right? That's always what makes the difference.
Well, I want to hear, Chandru, what do you think about my idea? What did you think about my pitch? What did you think about it?
I think similar to what John said, there's not a lot of difference between like the other news shows and what you're pitching. You've pitched like an aesthetic difference, like you're going to be in the corner of the screen compared to the rest. But like other than that's not a difference in the content itself, right? Like content itself, right? Like how are you going to differentiate your what you're talking about compared to like any other morning show on YouTube or any other news discussion show on YouTube? Is what.
Yeah.
Like. is what it's a good starting point.
It's a good starting point. It's a good premise. Now, how are you going to make it uniquely Calvin? Like, what are you going to talk about? What is it that you want to give me an example? That kind of stuff. Like, that's the stuff you need to work on for the next part of this development phase. Is okay. I understand the idea that you want to go with. It's an idea we've seen already. What's going to make it uniquely yours? And give me an example of what of a segment of the show might look like. How was your intro? How about in the middle of the show? Are you doing something? You breaking it out to a segment? That kind of stuff. That's what I need to see. Is like development of what the show itself, how it's constructed to lead to the overall effect when it's over.
All right. I mean, I can work on it. I can.
Listen to me, you son of a bitch. Don't you get discouraged.
Well, you kind of made me discouraged.
Yeah.
Good. I mean, I that's what I came up with, and I thought that was a good premise.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Whatever.
Did we not say it was a good premise? Now it's like, what's going to make it uniquely you? Work a little bit more, and go like, okay, what's the segments of the show? What do you want to say with your show? What do you want to get across? What do you want to accomplish with your show?
I mean, I thought with that, you know what I mean? I mean, I do have a lot to say, and I just want to get my opinion out there. And I thought through that premise would get that opinion out there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can make it my own. I can make it unique. I can do Calvin's Corner. I'm in a little tiny corner of the Outlaw Nation. I can do my little thing. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, yeah, Rocha's gave me this little space to say my piece. So yeah, I can make it my own. It's not that, you know what I'm saying?
Right, but I can't just hand you a thing and go, okay, make it your own. Like I'm not going to give you airtime if you're not going to have something really concrete that goes step by step and that I believe in. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So I want you to go back and work on it, and then next week come back with some more ideas, some more hashed out stuff. And if you need to reach out to Sean or to me or anybody in the chat or anybody that here connected to the Outlaw Nation, do so, and they'll help you put it together and hammer it out.
Well, I mean, I've been working on it, and I missed you last week. I missed you last week. I came in late. Yeah. But yeah, I've been working on it, man. But that's what I came up with. But I understand what you're talking about like trying to find something, you know what I mean, unique.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta tell you, Rocha. That's a hard task. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know it is to come up because everything's been done. Everybody on YouTube is doing the same shit. That's what I'm saying. It's a hard task.
Other people.
Do
you think I'm doing the same shit as other people?
No. That's why I love you, Rocha.
That's what I'm getting at. So if I see something in you, the possibility in you, that means you do have something unique to offer. And if you work on it and get it honed out and don't get personal about it and work it out and figure it out and be okay with taking criticism, I think you'll reach what you need to reach, and we'll be able to put this up on the air.
Well, I'll work on it. I'll bounce some stuff off of some people around, see what's going on.
And the Outlaw Nation too. They'll help you.
Well, I mean, like you're saying, I mean, okay. I want to tell you this, bro. I know you've got other people to get to. I'm sorry, but you said to me that it doesn't matter about talking about movies and stuff like that because a lot of people are doing that. Everybody's doing that, but it doesn't matter because people want your take. Okay, so I'm pitching to you the same thing, but it's just me talking about what's going on at the end of the week about movies. I'm recapping the week of the news of movies. So I'm doing that, and it's my take on it. So that's what I came up with. That's kind of the same thing. But that's in my eyes, I could be wrong.
I said to you, just because other people are doing it doesn't mean you can't do it.
I know that.
It's how you do it. So how you do it is how you put it together, right? How do you put it together? How do you talk about it? How do you break it down in segments? That kind of stuff. That's how you make it different and unique, you know? Like the sports show. Take it for example. We cover the big games of the season right off the bat. Then we get into the best of the rest. That whatever's left as we're answering questions. That's how it's constructed, right? Even Mornings with the Outlaw, we pick 4 topics.
Which I love, by the way.
Thank you. 15 minutes each, and we break it down and talk about within the 15, then answer questions or whatever. So what you got to do is figure out what is it you're trying to say with your show that's going to make it stand out. I never said it's not wrong for you to talk about movies. It is. What's going to make Calvin's Corner distinctly different from Mornings with the Outlaw or distinctly different from anything else? That's what you figured out.
So wait a minute. Let me get this straight. What you're saying is, take the same premise that I just said to you,
right,
but make some kind of unique thing out of it to make it stand out. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
All right.
Right.
All right.
Work
cool.
on that.
Chandru, Chandru, you on that too?
I'm gonna say the exact same thing. Like you have a nice core, like develop it a little bit more so it's more of like an elevator pitch or like a 2-line pitch that you can and like so you can think more about like the structure and like what the show is going to be, because I'm trying to visualize what the show is or trying to imagine what the show is going to be, and having a hard time imagining it just from the title of the show.
Yeah, I like the idea of you being in the corner. I think that's cute.
Yeah.
I like it. But 2 weeks and that's what you came up with? You got to come up with something more, bro.
Man, I got all this stuff going on, Roke. I'm sorry.
We all got stuff.
That's life. Life's going on in this place. I'm sorry.
The rocket scientists winning belts, so I mean, you get a break, man.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
It's just about what are the segments going to be? What is it you want to? What's going to be the funny stuff within? How are you going to make it unique? I got no problems with the premise. I got to now go to the next level with you and go, what are you going to do to make it unique? And when it's unique, then I can pitch it. And then I can promote it, right? I can't promote, hey, Calvin's talking about movies. Come and tune in at 5:00. No, it's got to be, hey, guys, Calvin's, it's this unique thing he's doing.
Well, that's the thing, though, Rocha. I made a structure. That's what I was talking about. You
got to figure out the structure and build the structure out.
I did make a structure. That's what I'm saying.
Your structure is I'm going to sit in a corner and talk about movies.
No, I said I was going to take all the news points of the week.
Yeah.
And then do that and then talk about it on Sundays.
Right.
That's the structure. Right. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. The structure is you're going to talk about the news of the week in the corner.
Yes.
Yes. Do you know how that, like, I need more than just that.
You know how many people are doing that online?
Yeah. But
a lot.
Successful.
A lot.
Yeah, but watch how their shows aren't the same as the other successful shows. They have a unique approach to it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like ETC has a whole different approach than Screen Junkies, which had a whole different approach than Collide.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, those are those things. You've got to find what it is that's going to be uniquely you and work your mind a little bit more to see what it is what do you want to see? That's the thing.
I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know. I can think about it and I can try to come up with something else.
This is pretty basic. Introduction, segment 1, segment 2, ending, conclusion. All right.
Yeah, I already have that, and that's part of the structure of the premise that I came up with. But you're saying I need to have some kind of unique spin on it.
Right. What's your
what I mean?
What's your segment?
So I need to come up with that now.
Right.
So I mean, I don't know.
Don't you lose faith?
Well, it's kind of depressing. I mean, I can, Roga, you my boy, you my idol, and but I mean, I can take this premise and do this premise on my own channel.
Why would you do that, Calvin? Outlaw's trying to help you. Calvin, here's your show right here. Free advice. Calvin's Hot Take Corner. What you want to do is you're going to be the Stephen A. Smith of movie news. You're going to find
who Stephen A. Smith is. I'm sorry.
Google it, and you know exactly what I'm trying to say. Is find someone to be your partner, and someone to host it, and then someone will bring up the movie news or whatever's going on, and you just drop some hot takes on everybody's asses. That's what you do. That's your show, and you can drop me out.
No, don't drop
You're
him
welcome.
out. I want him in.
You're welcome.
Hey. Sean, here's the thing, man. I mean, I just like to speak my truth and like talk to people and everything and if it's funny, it's funny. If it's not, it's not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I am opinionated about things, and that's just all I want to do. You know what I mean?
Look up Stephen A. Smith, and you'll understand what I'm saying. Yeah. Trust me. Yeah. John already gets it. He already gets it. Yeah. You agree with me, John?
Yeah, I get it. And I like it. It's just
there you go.
I need something. You know, you can keep the premise. I need something that's going to make it unique. All right.
Trust me.
Next week,
Calvin, study Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah.
Look him up. Look at some of his clips, and then go from there.
Okay.
All right. Well, anyway, I want to. Well, before Rocha drops me out here, I want to tell you, I understand it. I mean, I could try to find I could brainstorm, try to find some kind of unique spin on it, but you wanted a core, you wanted a structure. That's what I came up with.
That's what a pitch is, bro. A pitch.
You know what I mean? That's what I came up with.
I know but your pitch is basic. What I want is what's going to make it unique. That pitch is always okay. I'm a pitch you. I'm going to make a movie. I'm not going to give you money because you said I want to make a movie.
I mean, that's understandable.
Who is the protagonist? Who's the antagonist? What's the story? What's the inciting incident? What's the climax? What's the denouement? All those things are what you look at when you look at a movie. What I'm asking you to do is come up with the rhythm of the show. What is the beats? What are the beats of the show distinctly?
I mean,
and then giving your 2 cents.
Well,
what's going to make it unique?
I want to ask Sean this. I mean, I could do a hot take. That's people doing that too.
But you're missing the point, Calvin. You're not doing it. That's the point. I keep telling you.
I'm talking about the premise.
I know, but you're not giving John the whole picture. You're giving him a piece of the picture. You got to give him the whole picture. The idea of a pitch is you got to tell him, "Hey, John, my show is going to be like this show, but my take." You see what I'm saying? So the way John does his show is different from how other people do it. It's his take. You got to give John what your take is. So you could do whatever you want. If you don't like my idea, that's fine. But the idea is No, that's fine. But you got to pitch it to him. It's like, it's going to be like this, and it's like this other thing.
Right.
But it's my take on this.
It's like the player, which I know Chandru probably hasn't seen, but it's like
I know what you're talking about. I've seen the player, bro.
Okay.
Player's great.
Die Hard meets Pretty Woman or something. That's the thing you've got to come up with.
All
right. So
come in the Discord and we'll help you.
Yeah, come in the Discord.
Come in the Discord. Seriously.
Put him in the private. All right. Thank you, Calvin.
All right.
I love you, brother. Next week.
All right.
All right, Chandru. I gotta let you go. I'm sorry. Thanks for hanging out through that. I didn't expect it to go like that, but Calvin wants to do a show on the channel. I love Calvin, and I want him to figure out. People love Calvin too, so I want him to figure out and do a show. So I apologize if you felt that was a bit too much.
No, that's great. Like, I love his passion for starting a show as well. Like, it's sometimes we all feel like we can do it too, and there's nothing wrong in like bringing more voices in. And it's a great thing that you're actually helping him develop the show, and being like a tough parent in that sense as well. Like that's like your managing coaching style too, and I like that. I like that.
Chandru, I got one more year left in me, and then I'm managing. I can't hold on too tight anymore, man. I mean, everyone coming in is so knowledgeable now, Chandru. It's scary to think about 2021. I'm going to fight my ass off to get back to a belt, but it's going to be difficult, man. I mean, and you must know this now yourself. Walking into a second year, we're not going to spoil anything about spectacular, but walking into 2021, your third year in the league now, you got to expect the targets on your back, and guys and girls are coming in with IG knowledge now, seeing how much IG knowledge you have and Smets had. They're going to come in wanting to kind of take your belt, understand what level they need to be at themselves.
Yeah. It's an arms race at the Schmoedown at this point. Everyone's like trying to keep like one-upping the big person in each division, and it's always exciting to watch, and like that's what keeps the returning players excited as well, because if it's the same level of difficulty, like it would get very stale easily, and this new blood is like so exciting, and I can't wait to see what the new draft is, the season 8's draft is going to look like. What new rookies are going to jump in as well.
Apparently 500 people already have submitted to be a part of the Schmoedown.
Mm-hmm.
500 people have submitted videos. That's insane. So we shall see. All right. Well, listen, let's wrap it up here. Chandru, thank you so much for taking the time to be hanging out with us, man, tonight. And we came up with this on the fly. So I hope you had a good time hanging out and talking to some of the fans and answering some of the questions, and then hanging out doing the Hill Summit with me and Ben. I hope you had a good time, my man.
I had a great time. Like I've only interacted with fans mostly over chat or like when live events were still a thing, like in person, but never like actually had video chat interactions with it. That's something I like very much. And the Heel Summit is an interesting idea. I know you came up with it on the fly a little bit, but yeah, I look forward to more more Heel Summits going forward. Hopefully.
Yeah, we'll get Kalinowski and maybe Guy at some point to show up.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Chandru, tell everybody where they can find you, what you got going on, and everything like that, my man.
You can find me at Chandru Thinks on Twitter and Instagram, and anything I'm up to, I'll post on there. I also started a Patreon where I put some of my deleted scenes from my promos, and I'm trying to do some study sessions and like hangouts there as well in those Discord. So if you're excited, patreon.com/ChandruThinks, or look up my Twitter. It's the pinned tweet in my on my Twitter bio, on my Twitter profile. And other than that, just the Schmoedown is where I am. Like I'm on the Facebook Schmoedown Facebook group as well, like hanging out, like posting every now and then. And that is all. And because I have the belt, I'll be in a lot of like the high profile matches. So get your PPVs, pay-per-views. And if you haven't watched the Schmo Spectacular yet, either become a $10 plus patron. What are you doing? Either become a $10 plus patron or like buy the pay-per-view. I'm telling you, it'll be worth every cent that you pay for it. Because I've seen it multiple times already, even though it's a 9-hour stream. It's so worth it. Like, and you can catch me there as well.
There you go. 9 hours of content, that's for sure. For $10, that's just a little bit over $1 an hour. Dude, that's great for what you're getting. All right, Jared, I'm gonna drop you out. Thank you so much for coming in, man. Much love to you, brother, man, and much continued success.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's an honor and a privilege.
Same. All right, there was Chandru hanging out with us tonight here on the Outlaw Nation Show. So much fun having him be a part of the show here, and I hope you all enjoyed it, getting to know him a little more of his background, a little more of his history as a human being before he got into the Schmoedown and then afterwards, of course. So great to see it from him. Follow him, as he said, at Chandru Thinks. And yeah, join his Patreon if you want. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you enjoy, maybe you got to see a little more of the softer edge of Chandru here instead of like all these people who hate him so much. Maybe you all got to see a little bit of a softer edge. You can go enjoy him and join his Patreon and watch his deleted scenes and maybe do some study sessions. Why not? You could always use getting more knowledge in your brain. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up. Thanks to the Ben the Boss Bateman for coming in on the fly. Much love to Ben for doing that. I really appreciate that. Thanks to every one of you who sent in Streamlabs and Super Chats tonight. Really appreciate it. And to those of you who came in live, thanks again. As Chandru said, he doesn't go on a show where people do that. So I love that that's a unique thing about the Outlaw Nation Show. We bring in the fans to talk to our guests and have one-on-ones with them because the fans are very respectful. People know in the Outlaw Nation, you don't fuck around with the Outlaws. You don't fuck around with the guests. It's great. And I appreciate that. They're always very respectful, and it's good. I didn't come up with it before people go on their Discords and make a big deal about it. I'm just saying it's something I do here on the show. So much love to all of you. Take care of yourselves. Remember, practice the social distancing. Like Tom Cruise said, wear the masks, do all the things that you have to do to keep yourselves safe in this world. I know the vaccine's going around. We won't see it. Most of us who are not frontline workers, we won't see it until April or May of next year. So be careful. Be well, especially during this Christmas season. Maybe some of you won't be able to join me next week because it's 2 or 3 days before Christmas, but be careful if you're traveling and take care of yourself and don't let anyone pressure you, family members, friends, whatever, into not wearing a mask or not practice social distancing because they're not going to be there to hold your hand when you're dying from it if you get this thing. So take care of yourself and be safe and be well. And look for some more of the Christmas content coming here from the Outlaw Nation channel and all the stuff we got going on here this week. Geek Buddies tomorrow, Jedi Way tomorrow night as well. Then Imperfect Truths, then Mornings with the Outlaw, and Strong Style on Friday. By the way, I'll be hosting SEN Live tomorrow and hosting on Friday as well. So come and join me for that. All right, that's it. Much love to everybody. Let's see. I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody here, dropping anything, any super chats. Jeff Nicholas keeps sending stuff in. He just says, Feliz Navidad. Thank you, Jeff, and good show. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate that. And we'll talk to you next time on another brand new episode. I think next week we'll do a special Christmas episode next week. So maybe we'll just do a big 3 or 4 hour Q&A and have you all talk about your favorite Christmas memories and your favorite Christmas movies. We'll just hang out, have some eggnog, and have a fun time. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you next time. And let me end the show like I end every show. Whatever you need to do to get through the next second, next minute, next hour, next day, next week, next month, next year, I want you to do that. You know, the Christmas season is not easy for a lot of people. Holiday season is not easy for a lot of people and can be bad. I mean, yesterday I was in a bit of a depression yesterday myself. It happens to all of us. You just got to find your way through it and come on out of it and keep being a part of the Outlaw Nation. We love you being a part of it. So come stay with us as we build and build and grow and grow. All right. Much love to you. We'll talk to you next time. Peace.